Indo-Iranian. The Indo-Iranian languages form the largest branch of the Indo-European family, spoken by over 1 billion people across South Asia, Iran, and parts of Central Asia. They descend from Proto-Indo-Iranian, which split from Proto-Indo-European around the late 3rd millennium BCE and later divided into three main groups: Indo-Aryan, Iranian, and Nuristani. The Indo-Aryan languages include Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati, Nepali, and others spoken across India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. The Iranian group includes Farsi, Pashto, Kurdish, Balochi, and Tajik, extending from Iran and Afghanistan into Central Asia. The smaller Nuristani branch, spoken in eastern Afghanistan, preserves early features distinct from both main groups. Indo-Iranian languages have shared deep cultural and religious traditions, from the Vedic Sanskrit texts of ancient India to the Avestan scriptures of ancient Persia. Through centuries of expansion, migration, and empire, they spread widely and absorbed influences from Turkic, Dravidian, and Semitic languages, yet they retain clear Indo-European structures and a rich shared literary history. Germanic. The Germanic languages form one of the most widespread branches of the Indo-European family, spoken by over 500 million people across Europe, North America, and Oceania. They originated from Proto-Germanic, which developed in northern Europe during the 1st millennium BC, before expanding southward and westward. The family is divided into three main groups: West Germanic, English, German, Dutch, Afrikaans, Frisian, and Yiddish; North Germanic, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Icelandic, and Faroese; and the extinct East Germanic branch, Gothic and related languages. Despite differences in grammar and pronunciation, these languages share key features such as strong and weak verb classes and common core vocabulary from Proto-Germanic roots. Historically, Germanic languages spread widely through migration, trade, and colonization. English, the most global of them, evolved from early Germanic dialects in Britain and became a major world lingua franca. The Scandinavian languages maintain close mutual intelligibility, while German remains the most widely spoken in Europe. The Germanic branch continues to influence global communication, literature, and science on an unparalleled scale. Romance. The Romance languages form a branch of the Indo-European family that evolved from Latin, the language of the Roman Empire. They are spoken by more than 900 million people across Europe, the Americas, Africa, and other regions, making them one of the world's most widespread linguistic groups. Major Romance languages include Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, Romanian, and Catalan, along with smaller varieties such as Occitan, Sardinian, and Galician. These languages develop after the fall of Rome as regional forms of spoken Latin, known as Vulgar Latin, gradually diverge through geographic separation and external influence. Romance languages share many features derived from Latin, including gendered nouns, verb conjugation systems, and a large body of shared vocabulary. Over time, they also incorporated words from Germanic, Arabic, and indigenous American languages through conquest and colonization. Today, the Romance family remains central to global culture, diplomacy, and literature, carrying forward the linguistic legacy of Rome into the modern world. Slavic. The Slavic languages form a major branch of the Indo-European family, spoken by over 300 million people across Eastern Europe, the Balkans, and parts of Central Europe and Northern Asia. They share a common origin in Proto-Slavic, which began diverging around the early 1st millennium AD. The family is divided into three main groups. East Slavic includes Russian, Ukrainian, and Belarusian. West Slavic includes Polish, Czech, Slovak, and Sorbian. And South Slavic includes Bulgarian, Serbian, Croatian, Bosnian, Slovene, and Macedonian. Despite regional diversity, these languages remain closely related and often mutually intelligible within their subgroups. Slavic languages are known for their rich inflectional systems, aspect-based verbs, and shared vocabulary derived from Proto-Slavic roots. Many were influenced by contact with Germanic, Romance, Greek, and Turkic languages. The spread of Slavic peoples during the early medieval period shaped much of Europe's linguistic map. Today, Slavic languages serve as the national languages of many countries, reflecting both historical continuity and the region's diverse cultural evolution. Hellenic. The Greek language forms the sole surviving member of the Hellenic branch of the Indo-European family. It is spoken mainly in Greece and Cyprus, with smaller communities across the Mediterranean and diaspora populations worldwide, totaling about 13 million speakers. Greek has one of the world's longest continuous written traditions, dating back over 3,000 years, beginning with Mycenaean Greek preserved in Linear B tablets from the 2nd millennium BC. Over time, Greek evolved through major stages. Classical Greek used in ancient literature and philosophy, Koine Greek, the lingua franca of the Hellenistic and early Christian world, medieval Greek of the Byzantine era, and modern Greek, the contemporary form used today. Greek has deeply influenced the vocabulary and intellectual heritage of Europe and beyond, contributing extensively to science, philosophy, and religion. Many modern terms in medicine, mathematics, and politics derive from Greek roots. Despite historical shifts and foreign occupations, Greek has preserved a strong sense of identity and continuity, linking its ancient legacy to modern national culture and global influence. Baltic. The Baltic languages form a small but distinct branch of the Indo-European family, represented today by Lithuanian and Latvian, spoken in the eastern Baltic region of Europe. Together, they have around 5 million speakers. A third Baltic language, Old Prussian, became extinct in the 18th century, but provides important historical evidence for the group's earlier form. Baltic languages preserve many ancient Indo-European features that have disappeared elsewhere, making them valuable for linguistic research and reconstruction of Proto-Indo-European. Historically, the Balts lived across a much larger area of northeastern Europe, later reduced by migration, assimilation, and conquest. Lithuanian retains a highly conservative structure and is often noted for its close resemblance to early Indo-European forms. Latvian, while related, developed under stronger external influences, particularly from German and Finnic languages. Both have produced rich folklore traditions, reflecting pre-Christian beliefs and rural heritage. Despite centuries of outside rule, the Baltic languages survived and became central symbols of cultural identity during national revivals in the 19th and 20th centuries. Albanian. The Albanian language forms its own independent branch within the Indo-European family, meaning it has no surviving close relatives. It is spoken mainly in Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Montenegro, and parts of southern Italy and Greece, with about 7 to 8 million speakers worldwide. Albanian likely descends from one of the ancient Balkan languages, possibly Illyrian, Dacian, or Thracian, though its exact origin remains uncertain due to scarce written evidence. The first known Albanian text dates to the 15th century, but the language had already evolved over centuries of contact with other peoples. Throughout its history, Albanian absorbed influences from Latin, Greek, Slavic, and Turkish, reflecting the region's complex political and cultural interactions. Despite this, it retains a distinctly Indo-European core. The language is divided into two main dialects, Tosk, spoken in the south and forming the basis of the standard language, and Geg, spoken in the north. Together, they reflect a resilient linguistic heritage shaped by diverse historical layers. Armenian. The Armenian language forms an independent branch of the Indo-European family with no living relatives. It is spoken mainly in Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh, and by large diaspora communities in Russia, the United States, France, Lebanon, and other countries, with about 6 to 7 million speakers worldwide. Its first written record appears in the 5th century, when Mesrop Mashtots created the Armenian alphabet and translated the Bible. Although its Indo-European roots are clear, Armenian has absorbed vocabulary and influence from Iranian, Greek, Arabic, Turkish, and Caucasian languages, reflecting its location between major cultures and empires. Armenian developed through several main stages: Classical Armenian, used from the 5th to the 19th century, Middle Armenian, a bridge between ancient and modern forms, and two main modern dialects, Eastern Armenian, spoken in Armenia and Iran, and Western Armenian, used mainly by the diaspora in the Middle East and beyond. Despite long historical disruptions, Armenian has maintained a continuous literary and cultural presence that connects its speakers across time and geography. Celtic. The Celtic languages form a branch of the Indo-European family, once spread across much of Western and Central Europe, but now limited mainly to parts of the British Isles and Brittany in France. The modern Celtic languages are divided into two main groups: Goidelic, Irish, Scottish Gaelic, and Manx, and Brythonic, Welsh, Breton, and Cornish. Together, they have around 2 million speakers, with varying degrees of vitality. Ancient Celtic languages, such as Gaulish and Celtiberian, were once spoken across continental Europe, but disappeared after Roman expansion. The surviving insular branches developed distinctive features, including initial consonant mutation and a strong oral poetic tradition. Throughout history, Celtic languages faced pressure from Latin, English, and French, leading to significant decline, especially during periods of colonization and political unification. However, modern revival movements have led to renewed interest in education in several of these languages. Today, Irish, Welsh, and Breton maintain active communities, serving as symbols of cultural heritage and linguistic resilience in regions that were once centers of ancient Celtic civilization